Hello guys. Okay, so this is like round 3, I think, of filming this. Technology is not my friend today, but you know, I'm just going to crack on. This is a work in progress Wednesday video anyway, so it's quite appropriate that I am literally I have literally a work in progress on the go for a change. Yeah, so this is your work in progress Wednesday for this week, which is the 28th of April. There we go. Hi. I love that my little pad, my tablet can sit there now when I've got a clock screensaver on it now. So that, yep, I can actually keep track of the time whilst I am recording, which is cool. But yes, so anyway, as I said, this is my April design team project for Tracie Fox over at LoveJunk Journals, the Foxy Creative, Tracie Fox Creative. And I am predominantly working with her Grungy Wallpaper kits, but I have printed other kits from Tracie to use as well. I'm not going to go through them because I've already done a show and tell flip through video of the kits I will be using, so I will link to that video below. Please go check it out. And the idea is, at the moment, I am going to be taking my old business cards, which are no longer relevant because not only have I rebranded to a different name, but I haven't used that logo and banner photo for probably about 3 years now. Not two-ish years. Before I rebranded to what I am now as Minxie Studio UK. I can't tip that up because my brew will spill. Minxie Studio UK. There we go. Which you know anyway because you're on the channel. I was still Northern Craftaholic UK, but I changed my logo because my friend Michelle made me a new logo. So these business cards have been kind of out of the loop, well, irrelevant, out of the loop and irrelevant really for quite some time. So right now I am just getting downright dirty and messy with some gesso, and we're covering them up. I'm going to have to actually paint on, I'm not going to paint on the back. Original idea was to gesso over the front to dull the image down, and then I can use Tracie's kits to put over the top, give them a new lease of life, and it's good quality cardstock. Sorry guys, I had to laugh at that when watching Tracie's video yesterday. She was categorizing, I can't say that word, categorizing her cardstock into quality cardstock and not so quality cardstock. I do exactly the same thing. This is good quality cardstock and I'm not about to let it go to waste. I have probably about 25-ish there, business cards there. Then I have another 25-ish here. Then I have some more here that, oh yeah, no, they don't have a back on. That's when I used to have Instagram on there, Etsy on there, and then I took it off this one. Then I have these loyalty cards, packets of loyalty cards. There's 25 in there, there's not so many left in there. And then I have these little tags. I've already got an all in because I used to make jewellery as well, so I used to clip the jewellery and key rings onto there and let them hang down. So yeah, and some scratchy reward cards there, which obviously if you scratch that off there's a reward underneath it, but it's no longer relevant. But yeah, so you know, there's a lot and they need reusing because it's good stuff, good stock. And then I have these compliment slips as well, which is also not quite cardstock quality but decent thickness of paper, so I figured they need reusing as well. But yeah, so there you go. That is what I'm up to right now, guys. I'm just gessoing. I'm not going to do any more on camera. Just gessoing over these. So let's take 2. These are now dry. I've just finished using the heat gun off camera. So they are now relatively dry. But let's just take these 2. And let's pop that to one side. I'm just going to go over these again a couple of times. And I figured I'd have a little chat to you guys whilst I'm doing it. Yeah, so that's it. I'm just going to basically repurpose my old business cards with Tracie's kits. But yeah, so how are you guys doing? Hope you're all okay. Hope the weather's okay where you guys are. It's been quite lovely here actually for the last week. Well, for the last 2 weeks actually. Week and a half, nearly 2 weeks. Last week was glorious. We went to the beach with grandbabies. And then we went to the park twice with Taylor as well. Yeah, it were awesome. It's not been too bad this week. We've had a few really nice days this week, and then it rained yesterday, which were quite funny actually, because the day before my daughter had come to do the front garden, to cut the grass for us and tidy up and what have you. Beautiful day. And then yesterday, the day after she did it, yesterday it poured down all day long and it was cold. I was like, wow, good timing coming the other day, weren't it? So, oh sorry, I'm not sure if I'm in focus or not. I will just pop you on pause and dry this. Okay, for anybody who is wondering, if you heat the back, it kind of stops them curling. Well, it doesn't. It helps stop the curl. They're alright, but I'm just going to give them one more coat. But yeah, so it's been a beautiful week here. A few weeks actually. We've been busy moving things around. Taylor's now moved out of this room into, like, this was his games room. He's now moved out of here with his stuff into his bedroom. We built him a new desk and shelving and everything for his room. And then I moved out of our bedroom back in here. I say back in here because I started off in here years ago, back in 2015, way before YouTube days. But yeah, I did start off in this room. Then I ended up in the bedroom, and then I moved downstairs, and then Taylor moved up here. I took over downstairs, and then I moved upstairs in the bedroom recently, and yeah, now I'm back in here. So there you go. That's what we've been up to for the last month, moving around and yeah, rebuilding stuff and what have you. Also, the UK's come out of lockdown, so. Well, we're not out fully. I'm just going to use the heat gun. I'm not sure how loud it's going to be, so I apologise. You might want to turn the volume down, but I will keep talking. Yeah, so we're not out of lockdown fully yet, but we are starting to come out of lockdown. Things are opening back up. Pubs are open for outdoor seating and stuff like that. Not that it bothers me in the slightest. I've never been a pub person. But yeah, so lots of people around here are happy about that. Not so much here. I'm happy staying in my own little bubble, away from everybody. But yeah, so right, the heat tool can just go over there. So let's remove this over here. I am using my glass mat, which is a kitchen counter. No, it's not a kitchen countertop. This underneath, this white underneath that you can see, is a kitchen countertop. This is a kitchen chopping board. So yeah, there we go. I'll just pop that to one side. This could probably do with being a bit drier, but it will do. It's not a problem. But yeah, and with this being the reason I was not bothered about blowing straight onto it, they were sat on this, which is just kitchen parchment paper, baking paper, parchment paper, and the reason I weren't bothered about doing it direct on this is because, as I said, it's a kitchen chopping board. It's heat-proof, heat-resistant, it's tempered glass and it's heat-resistant, so that's fine. I wouldn't do it on this that I've got underneath it here. I mean, this is kitchen countertop, so that would be fine, but this that I've got underneath the glass mat is a plastic. Well, my listing was a listing for a mouse mat. It's very long, very long. But yeah, my listing was for a plastic mouse mat. Tracie mentioned on, don't think she mentioned on YouTube, but she mentioned in her Facebook group that she'd bought one but hers was a listing for one of them mats that you put on the floor for your PC chair to run across, which you could do with this actually. But mine was listed as a mouse mat. Yeah, same thing really though. But I don't think I'd dare do it direct on there yet. But I know I'm okay with this because, like I said, it's a kitchen chopping board. So now I want to decide which ones of these to use, and I'm going to just flip through the larger versions until we get to these ones, which are the smaller versions. They're exactly the same as the large, but Tracie's kindly put them 4 to a page. These are more, yes, these are more the size I want to be working with. Yeah, them are a bit small. She's done them 3 to a, well, full size, which you get 3 on a page. Then she's done them 4 to a page, and then she's done them, I think, is it 9? Yeah, 9 to a page. Them are a little bit small for what I want, so we will be working with these 4 to a page, and this is how they print. I really like that one. I'm just doing these 2 for now, just to get this design team project done and out of the way, because we are now the 28th of April and it's been put off, well, not put off, but I've been busy. So I mean, I didn't even put it off, I didn't have a desk to craft on, so not in here, not even in the bedroom, just nowhere, so it had to be postponed. But I want to get it done. Also because she's just released some new kits and they're freaking awesome. And yeah, I want to work with them. So, for next month, obviously. Yeah, they are beautiful, these. So hard to choose. So hard to choose. I want to kind of go a little bit neutral-ish. I am going to get my Tracie labels, as I refer to them as, out. And just see, so I have the random number, well actually, excuse me, this is a mix of number labels and random number labels and more random number labels, because she has 2 kits. So we kind of maybe want to get these out to test which is going to look best, because this is going to basically be my base, like background, if you will. I'm not just going to glue these on there and call it done. I do want to then kind of work up from them. So let's open these up and see which ones might work the best. And as I said, I will do 2 on camera for you guys. The rest I will do off camera, just for fun, in the background. And then I'm not stressing over getting it done on time. I like these blue ones, so that's a potential. Oh, I love them all, it's so hard to choose. Oh, I really like that one. Oops, missed a page. I like the yellow one as well. What can I do with the yellow? Yeah, they'd match if I kept some of that in. They'd be okay. Well, the black ones will go with anything anyway. How about this one? Yeah, I think we'll have those two. Okay, so nice easy decision there, and both on the same page. So let's grab the chopping board. Oops, oh sorry guys, sorry. Can use this one for this. I'm slowly getting used to how this one works, but not fully. Oh, I managed to get it without chopping. Anyhow, I'm alright if I have to measure, I'm fine. If I have to gauge where it is, you've got no hope. Well, I've got no hope, should I say. So, we kind of like just line it up with this plastic thing, and then I just cut the rest by hand. Or I get my other scoreboard out. Cutting board out, because I know that one. That's... this one will do for the time being. I love this trimmer, but I'm not a fan of the noise that it makes. Okay, that'll do me fine. We'll leave that to one side in case we need it, and let's get the scissors. Oh my gosh, it is so amazing. I have a pegboard up there, and oh wow, it's just awesome. It means I've got a ton of desk space. I'm talking like, you're looking at probably about 5.5 foot of desk space, possibly more than that. All the way across and front to back, apart from my tablet being over there, and my brew and that sort of thing. A couple of tubs for what I call catch-alls, throw random stuff in. But yeah, everything that used to be on the desk before is now up on a 4 foot long by 2 foot tall pegboard right above me, and it's awesome. I just look up, it's there, I grab it, it's done. No rooting through tubs or sifting through boxes or drawers for stuff. It's amazing. I love it. I always wanted a pegboard. I know some people want ponies and whatever, but no, I've always wanted a pegboard. It was like a dream come true, and I know that sounds really childish, but yeah, I felt like that kid that got the pony she always wanted when I got my pegboard. It's the simple things in life, it really is. But yeah, so now I need to decide where I want it. Let's get the glue book out and the glue stick. Well, I think I want it top middle because I want that green border. I really like the green border, but do I want the yellow as well? I think I do. So I think the ideal thing would be to just glue the card, because that's the space I need to be glued. The reason I gessoed over these first is because, obviously, it's got a dark pattern on it, and you probably can't actually, but I was worried about being able to see it through, because these are only printed on normal printer paper. I didn't print them on cardstock or anything, just normal printer paper. So, like I said, I was a bit worried you might be able to see through. So, also, I just kind of fancied being messy for a change. I haven't got messy for ages. Don't know why, the thought of it before we're just like, ugh, no, can't be doing with that. I ain't got time for that. But yeah, I blame Tracie because she's been doing a lot of messy play and grungy stuff and painting in her recent videos. So it's like, oh, I want to do that. I want to play. I want to play. And then it was like, I can't play because I've not working space. Now I have. Yay. Honestly, I'm so childish. I feel like I'm being childish. But it's right. Is it my messy scissors? Yes, I even have messy scissors. Do you know? Because I've moved from downstairs to up here, and I'm having to go through all my stuff because not everything will go. Actually, that's a lie. Everything will go in here. But I've put my foot down with myself and I've said, nope, you're not having everything in here. You're only having what you need. Which is everything. Yeah. Oh my gosh, just look at that. Instant transformation. Amazing. Anyway, get back to the point. Yes, because awesome scrap. Pop that to one side. But because I put my foot down with myself and told myself you are not having everything in here, you're only having what you need. Obviously, that's entailed a lot of destashing and crying. Not so much destashing selling, but destashing like, well, that's not going in there, so it's got to either go in a box to potentially be sold or given away, or for now stay downstairs. So you know, you can't have it in this room. Let's see, let's go to that line there with this one. Yeah, so like I said, lots of tantrums and stuff. I have found that I have way too much of everything, which is, you know, every crafter's kind of thing, fate, if you will. But I used to watch videos and what have you and see people using 5 pairs of scissors for different things. I mean, I can understand material scissors and craft scissors. Yeah, everybody knows if you've got material scissors, you do not cut paper with them, and you do not use scissors that you've cut paper with to cut material. So I understand that. It's like the ultimate sin, not just for crafters. You know, sewers, anything, you know, it's like one of the unwritten golden rules in any community that you do not use paper scissors on material, and you do not use material scissors on paper. Or if you do, then, you know, if you use material paper or scissors, then you never again use them. No, if you use material scissors on paper, then you never again use them for material. Yeah, so there you go. But I was like, I can understand that, but why have people got like 5 pair of scissors for paper? It doesn't compute. I don't understand. She says, when I was going through my stuff, I was like, where's these scissors come from? No, I've had these for ages, and I understand buying scissors to do something with and then realising I don't like them. So, you know, you kind of put them to one side, throw them in a drawer. That's fine. And I should have picked up on this through watching my own video. Well, I'm watching my own video, editing my own videos. I am that person. I have 5 pairs of scissors for crafting. It's like, I love these. Obviously, they're bigger scissors. So, yeah, they're good for doing bigger surfaces. I love these. These are my normal kind of everyday scissors. Then, recently, I have these. And I use these when I'm fussy cutting around smaller areas. These are actually material scissors, but I do not use them for material. I got a pack of 4, so yeah, I kept the silver ones to use. So they're really cool. They're really sharp and really cool. They're good for doing intricate fussy cutting things and stuff like that. Then I've got these, which are now my designated messy scissors. I love these. I bought them because the handles were bigger. But what I don't like about these is they've got kind of a serrated edge on them. So when you're cutting something, it kind of leaves... It's not even a full zigzaggy edge, but it kind of leaves a weird serrated edge on, which I don't like. So these are now my, what I call my messy scissors, and I use them for like this. But also in a drawer, I have about 7 other pairs of scissors, and I was like, wow. And I actually do use them. But yeah, so I am now that person that has just too many pairs of scissors for one job. I have about 7 of these, but I only ever use one. It's getting a bit, yeah. Oh, it's also, you know, it's getting a bit worse for wear. It's got bits missing out of it and all sorts. But anyway. So, right, that's that. Oh, I love that so much. And now, originally I wasn't intending on doing anything with the back, but because I've gessoed on the other piece of paper, the baking paper, it's ended up with it on the back anyway. Guess what, guys? I'm going to ink. But what colour? I think we'll go for antique linen to start with. God, everything is just so organised. I love it. I know I'm so childish, but I do. I just love being organised. Is that my antique linen one? I know this is my vintage photo, but no, that's not antique linen. Alright, no, that's both vintage photo, but that one's a bit worse for wear now, so I used a new one. Okay. That's up there separate because I actually can't believe I'm saying this. I reach for that one the most. Honestly, it is a little bit of a shock to me that I have all these inks now, because if you guys who have followed me for a while will know I never used to like inking at all. I never did. I hated it. That's my antique linen one. I think this pad is dry. I mean, it kind of doesn't fit. It's very wet and tacky, but when I use it, there don't seem to get much ink out of it. And I know it's a lighter ink anyway, but I use it and don't feel like it's doing anything. So it's so weird. Oh, yeah, it's working now. So, yeah, that's what it needs. Just needs a little bit of ink, but not too much. And actually, you guys know me well. Those of you who are watching, corner rounder. Yep, I'm going to do the corner rounding. I have a thing about rounded corners. This is not going to be a tag. I'm going to use these as small journal cards. Some of them I will make into tags, small tags, but these are just going to be little journal cards. So we shall round the corners. Oh, I love how everything is just right there. So easy to grab. This is my first project. My first project in this room. So I am christening this room my new studio. I am christening the new studio with my design team project for Tracie. Awesome. I love it. I'm so happy. So happy. Anyway. Gosh, we're like 22 minutes in already. But at least you know now what to do with old business cards. Or, I mean, if you don't have your own, how many do you get through the post? I don't know about other countries, but here in the UK we tend to get a lot of them in the post with just random stuff. But yeah, so, you know, just grab them and use them. Now, as I've done this video 3 times already, actually I think it's 4, but as I've done this video 3 times, I am now at a point where I have no idea what I've said in this video. So if I start repeating myself, I apologise in advance. Or if I've already started repeating myself, I apologise again. Oh, I love that. I love that. There's just a very subtle, because it was yellow at the top there, it's got that yellow band on from the actual kit. It just needed something very subtle around the edge, and I love that. Focus you back again. Yeah, but I do think I might need a new one of these ink pads, because like I said, I know it's a very subtle colour is this, but it just doesn't seem to do much anymore. It actually didn't seem to do much when I got it. Someone mentioned, someone suggested getting a re-inker instead of just getting a new pad. Just get a re-inker. But I don't know. I mean, it does work, and when you touch the pad, it's wet. But I don't know. There's just, I don't know, something strange about it. It just, maybe it's supposed to be very, very, very subtle like that, but when I see other people using it, it looks a bit darker to me when they use it. I don't know. It's probably just me. But yeah, anyway, as I said, I am now an inky person. I never used to be, and when I did start inking, I started with the antique linen because it was so subtle. But yes, like everybody else, over time I now reach for vintage photo more than anything. So that's in a little tub all by itself. You'll have probably seen this in previous videos anyway, because it always used to be just there on my desk to the side of me. This little box here, anybody use that? Oh, actually I've been asked a few times, but this little box here, it used to have heart-shaped cup coasters in it. It was one that I got, years ago. I got it years ago from Pound Stretcher. It cost me, it was on sale for 50p, complete with the coasters. It were on one of the major clearance sales, like I said, years ago, about 3, maybe 4 years ago. It were on one of the major clearance sales, and it cost me 50 pence for that, with the 4 heart-shaped coasters in it. I've still got them somewhere, actually. So of course I had to have it. And I was crafting then as well, so I used the coasters as cup coasters downstairs on the table, but that immediately got brought upstairs and used. Originally I put my glues in it, but then when I did start inking, I've had all sorts in it actually, but then when I did start inking more, I realised that my ink pad fits in there perfectly with my little ink daubers next to it. So my finger ones, I like using the finger ones, and they came in a kit, in this case, which the case is actually broken. I dropped it on the floor. It's still alright though. But yeah, and you can get refills very cheap. So refills as in these themselves, not the ends of them or anything, just these themselves. You can pick them up on eBay very cheap. eBay, Amazon, well, you probably can get on eBay. But you can pick them up on Amazon very cheap. So yeah, because I realised I don't like using the actual pads, you know, the like rectangular shaped ones with the handles on. Don't like using, I can't use them properly. Don't know why, but I can't. I do, however, love using these brushes, the makeup brushes, for mainly for stenciling and what have you, but I do use them as well on some things when I just want to go over something to grungy it up a little bit. I love them. But for some reason I just can't gel at all. Don't know why, but I just really, really struggle with the actual ink blenders. Weird, very weird. Sorry, I'm just scooting this stuff along over here out the way. I love this now. I have so much desk space. So much. Do you want a little tour? You guys are honoured because I've not done this yet. I haven't even done a room tour yet, but I know I'm at a weird angle, but yep, so my desk goes all the way back to them tubs, all the way along here. Got my favourite rose scented candle burning. I love that smell, it reminds me of my grandma. Then I've got my tablet there with the timer going. It's just a screensaver. And then the desk goes all the way over there. Oh no, I'm sorry. All the way over there to the window. That's got my cutters in it. That's got my little rags in it. Yeah, so there you go. That's the lid for my candle, because that's where my candle sits, and obviously my brew. Also, I have an extension plugged in over there. But yeah, and then tip you on your head. And then this desk extends that way under the window, and that is the designated messy spot. Wet, messy play area. I know I did it here, but I'm filming. But that side, yeah, is where all the messy action happens. So there you go, guys. Sneak peek. I couldn't resist. Right, now let's get to work. Right, labels. Labels. Right, so we don't actually need green label. Yeah, we do. We'll say we don't need green labels now, but we do because... Right, Tracie, this label confuses me somewhat rotten, right? I know it goes that way. I know it goes that way because the numbers go that way. But when it's loose amongst other labels and things like that, yeah, when it's kind of loose amongst other labels and everything, and it's upside down like that, my brain sees that as the word sale, and I know it's not because it's upside down, and it's got an L there, but at a quick glance, my brain sees that as a word. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but yeah, unfortunately that's what my brain does. So I actually have a real bad tendency to glue this label on upside down sometimes. It just, yeah, I know. It's funny. I find it funny anyway, but it's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know, but yeah. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just pointing it out. So now maybe everybody else will see as well. Or somebody else is going to pipe up, oh my gosh, yes, me too. Because please tell me I'm not the only one. Right, so... Okay, so I don't want them. Oh, crashing my room already. Get back up there. One of my cards is falling down. Ironically, my card from you, Tracie. Where have I put them? Because that's not what I was looking for. There they are. There they are. I want these, which are also more Tracie labels. Those are nature definition labels, and they're all kind of neutral tones. There are some coloured ones in there. Oh, some green ones in there as well. Let's have a look at that. But then we have Tracie's Fussy Cut Butterflies, and they are printed on sticker paper and vellum. Cool. Then we've got Tracie's Birds, Fussy Cut Birds. There's quite a lot of them missing because I need to print some more. And then Tracie's Fussy Cut Flowers, and again I need to print some more. And then Tracie's Fussy Cut Mushrooms. I don't think I need to print any more of them because I actually don't use mushrooms very often. I remember a few years ago, 12 months, well no, 2 years ago-ish, something like that, mushrooms were all the rage among the community. That sounded so bad. That sounded so bad. Fussy cut mushrooms and mushroom stickers, oh I really like that, were all the rage being used in the community. Yeah, and Tracie did the mushroom kits, fussy cut kits, so I bought it, and yeah, very rarely ever use it. I've got stickers as well, not from Tracie, but I actually got some mushroom stickers as well, and I very rarely use them either. I use the butterflies all the time though, because I love butterflies. So I've got loads of them because these have been printed out numerous times, as I said, on sticker paper and vellum, because I like the fact you can see through them. Birdies. Not really use the birdies very much, but I think it's because they're big. These are printed normal size. I could print them smaller, which would make them probably more useful. I do like them, but like I said, they're big, so they're not going to be much good for this project, but I'll just show you what some of them are like. They are very pretty. I mean, I suppose I could still use them, but I'd end up cutting some of it off, which makes me feel really bad. Oh, pretty birdie on that one. Oh, I like that. Oh, see, now I'm right. I'll leave that out because now I'm torn between the birdie and the flower. But yeah, cute birdies. You can tell I got bored of fussy cutting there. I've cut the feet off. Probably thinking I'll just do that bit there, poking out, cut its tail off. I know, I'm so bad. I'm forever decapitating animals with... That sounds bad as well when I'm fussy cutting. Oh my gosh, I'm going to shut up. Digging a very deep hole here. I mean, I don't really decapitate animals, just when I'm fussy cutting. Oh. Oh, I really like that. I think I really like that kind of... I know I'll cut its tail off. I'm sorry. I kind of like that there, but then what do we do label-wise? I need my extra pair of hands, as Sharon would say. So, pop that on there so that stays in place. Now let's look at labels. I think green wouldn't work on there, I don't think, although there is a bit of green in there. And them are too big anyway. So, put them back on that bag. Blue wouldn't work. It's going to be brown in it, so it's going to be these. Whoops. Browny beigey neutrals. We'll get to the green one in a minute. I like that they're kind of looking up at a label. I like the idea of it looking up at a label. Now these labels are printed on normal printer paper. Is that normal printer paper? That's actually thicker paper, so normal print paper, ivory creamy coloured cardstock, and white card. Well, that's matte photo paper, is that actually? It's not just print paper, it's matte photo paper because it's quite thick. And I can feel it's not glossy, but it's thicker. I can feel it. That's dark. I think we need a little one, don't we? Oh, I like that. Let's see. Too big. I think we need the small ones. Although that doesn't look too bad, but I want to keep that design there, so I'm being really fussy now. Oh, I like that. I still think we need a smaller one. What's this one? Maybe. Was that the one that I had first? Yeah, quite like that one. Nope. Maybe a darker one. That doesn't look too bad, although it's a bit bare down here. I know what I could do there. Oh, I've had so much fun today. There's that label again. In a different colour. Then there's this one. Again, that's upside down. I always want to put it that way because that's kind of similar to how I do my pound signs. goes that way. It's a number 3. I probably have stuck that on upside down at some point, you know. I probably have put it on it that way. It doesn't matter. In different projects, no doubt. There's so many to choose from. Oh, they're awesome though. Absolutely awesome. I use these labels all the time. That's a possible contender. That's a definite contender. We'll have that one as well. Yeah, I think these Diddy small ones are definite contenders. I like that one. Something about that one, I don't know. I like it. The numbers. Right, so that's all of them. We've just been through a full collection of numbers. Oh, missed one, missed one, missed one. What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this? That's a contender. No. Not that it matters, but I'll get my blue ones mixed in with these ones. I can sort them out later, but I like to keep them separate colours because it makes it easier for for projects like this if they're in different colours. Blue's not going to cut it for that one, so that can go over there. Okay, so let me zoom you guys in for this and see. Also because I like looking at it through the camera as well, because then I can see what you guys can see. The brew's going cold. What a surprise. Oh, that stands out well, doesn't it? Bit dark. I like that one. I like that one. My problem is I like them all. I really like that one too. And I think these are too dark, to be honest. Yeah, they're not doing it for me. Nope. Right, them are too dark. So it's a choice between these, and I'm drawn to them two more. That one's not so bad because it ties the colours in. I mean, kind of imagine Birdie's tail not being there. Sorry. But I like this. And this one. I think that one. I keep going back to that one, so I think it's that one. It's got to be that one, hasn't it? If I keep going back to it, then it's got to be. So, some brew. And let's ink around Birdie. In fact, we won't ink around it. We shall pop him on there and no, we will ink around him, but Grungy, well, not even Grungy, will ink him up a little bit with the brush. See, that doesn't even look like it's doing anything to me. It is, but I don't know. Maybe it's too subtle sometimes. Don't know why I'm doing his tail. I'm going to cut it off. Okay. So we'll just go around the edge. Wow, it's 3 o'clock already, guys. Good job, I'm nearly done. I probably won't do this green one with you because I'm too indecisive when it comes to doing this sort of thing. So this definitely needs inking. Mainly just to get rid of the white bits from when I cut around it. And this has been printed onto the creamy ivory coloured cardstock, so it's already looking a bit vintagey anyway, so that helps. Okay. Oh, sorry, that were a bit noisy. So I think we pop that on first and then I'll know where to put Birdie. As opposed to putting Birdie on first and then the label, maybe. Or do we put Birdie on first? No, we put label on first. I'm going to put the label on first and then put Birdie on. Yeah, so I will just do this one for you guys because we're like probably an hour now. I've already filmed some and then I put it on pause, and oh my gosh, my glue's all goobered up and I don't have a pin in here to ungoobery it. Let's see if I can get that off. Didn't think of that, did I? Wasn't very clever, was it? I wonder if this will work. Yeah, that's thin enough to go in, I think. No, it's not. Ah, man. Eek. I don't have a pin in here that's thin enough to go in this bottle. Oh, for goodness sake. Fine, we'll use the 3-in-1 then. Which I was trying to avoid. Because it's really thick and gloopy. So sorry about this, guys. This pin's too thick to go through my art glitter glue. And for those of you who have been asking about these pins, I've had a few people comment saying, where do you get your pins? Like, what pin are you using in your bottle and where do you get them from? They are called T pins, the letter T. T for tomatoes. Or T for Tracie. Yes, they are T pins. And I got them on Amazon. They are they're stainless steel, so they don't, stainless steel is steel anyway, so they don't rust. They are what knitters and crocheters use for blocking out, they're like blocking pins. They use them for stretching the work across mats and sticking them in to block them out, so they need to be rust proof because you do blocking on crochet and knitting when it's wet. So obviously they need to be rust proof. They're too thick, as I've just said, to go into the art glitter glue bottles, but they are perfect for your sweet sugar bell bottles, which is what this is. And your I can't think now. Where have I put my bomb foot? Oh, there it is. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say now. Fabri-Tac, that's the one. If you have your original Fabri-Tac bottle, they go in there fine as well. I don't have my original. I use the Sugar Bell bottles, and I don't, well, Fabri-Tac 3-in-1. I use 3-in-1. It's cheaper for me here in the UK. But yeah, but these, or I'm pretty sure when I tried, it went into the 3-in-1 Fabri-Tac bottle, no problem. But yeah, I'm not going to use that for the birdie. I'm going to put the birdie on with glue stick. Excuse me, just, sorry guys, just going to rub the excess ink off there and pop that back in the tub. Not that I don't think there were any on there anyway, and because this is only a small surface, I will use my Uhu glue instead of getting the big glue stick back out. Although, oh yeah, no, I'm going to say I'm not sure whether this is all gloopy or not, but it's not. Cool, because I haven't used this for, oh my gosh, I don't know how long. I haven't used this since getting this, and I love this that much. I've got 5 more in my, oh, poo, I've just glued its tail, never mind. Yeah, I've got 5 more bottles of it in my over the door hanger. But, you know, I mean, yes, okay, it's kids glue, but it's awesome. You guys have seen me using it for ages now, and it's just amazing. There we go, birdie. It's amazing glue. It's, like I said, just cheap kids glue from B&M Bargains here in the UK, and yeah, it's massive, as you've seen. It's a big chunky glue, and it is so super sticky. I mean, I've got gesso on my fingers, but I've just got everything else. I can feel it stuck. I've got a layer of it on top of the gesso on my finger. Yeah, it's brilliant glue. I love it. And it's £2 a bottle. It's 4 ounce, and it's £2 a bottle. And this is almost done, actually. The thing with this is you need to take the lid off. You need to kind of move it up. This is actually almost done. That's the plastic bit. So I've only got that much left. But it's lasted me so long. It covers a vast surface in one go. So it cuts down the gluing time, especially when collaging. Oh my gosh. It cut down my gluing time dramatically. And like I said, it covers a vast amount of space quicker. With just 2 swipes and it's done. Oh my gosh, you poor birdie. But that's so cool. Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. And like I said, I bought some more at £2 a bottle, so I've got 5 more up there. They'll last me, they'll probably last me for another year yet. I do still have Uhu glue and other cheap small glue sticks, but yeah, because sometimes the smaller jobs it's easier with the smaller glue sticks. But yeah, so anyway, all the rambling and everything aside, there we go, guys. Poor birdie. But yeah, what was a business card, an old business card, is now an awesome little journal card. And we'll just put some tea or coffee dyed paper or something on the back of there to hide all that messy gesso. But yeah, but like I said, so what was once a old out-of-date business card is now a cool little journaling card. Awesome. Oh, Tracie, I love these samples, these swatches. They're fabulous. Because it's just given me the background that I needed and a lovely little design at the top there, a border design at the top there without having to faff about and search for something else. Yeah, love it. That's not going on there because I don't want to cover that up. But yeah, I'll do that one off camera anyway. And like I said, I'm not going to do it all and then come back and show you. I'll do it all in my own time. It is now 3:10 anyway, so I need to go and get some stuff done, other stuff done. But there you go, guys. So yes, this is my April design team project for Tracie Fox over at LoveJunk Journals Fox Creative. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me in my new studio. Yeah, stay tuned for a studio tour coming soon. Yeah, eek. And thank you so much again, Tracie, for letting me be on your design team. It is a dream come true. A lot of you guys will have heard me say in previous videos that being one of Tracie's design team members has kind of been one of my ultimate goals since starting my little junk journaling journey over, nearly 3 years ago, or I think it's coming up to 3 years, or just over. Yeah, I kind of made it. It was a personal goal, but it was kind of also a private goal. Not many people knew about it other than myself and a couple of other friends. Tracie never knew about it. But then when she approached me and said, would you like to be one of the design team members? I'm like, oh my gosh, yes! So, yeah. Anyway, there we go, guys. But yeah, so thank you so much for having me, Tracie. I'm sorry this video took so long, but you know me and my rambling, and yeah, it's just nice to be back playing again after all this time. But yeah, so thanks for having me, guys. No, well, thanks for having me, Tracie. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will speak to you all again very soon. Take care, guys. Bye.